I put myself on mute. Oh, what is up, everybody? It's Dr. Vibe here, host and producer of the award-winning Dr. Vibe Show, the home of Epic Conversations. I'm the host of Epic Conversations 2020, Best Podcast News Award winner, 2018 Innovation Award winner given out by the Canadian Ethnic Media Association. Also, I host the only online show in the world for fathers and dads that is sponsored by Dove Men Plus Care. It's also co-sponsored by Dad Central, Canada's national fatherhood organization. And through that collaboration, as part of a team that reached out to over 100,000 fathers around the world last year. As always, I'd like to say you're blessed, highly favored, a magnet for miracles, and a solution for someone's problem. Good morning, everyone who's watching the Morning Vibe Live, and good day if you're watching it on replay. What's going on, Ryan?
Yes. So good to be here, Dr. Vibe, as always. And for those that don't know who I am, my name is Ryan Knight, one of the co-founders of the Afro-Caribbean Business Network. We work with entrepreneurs of African and Caribbean heritage, really to figure out what stage their business is in and then help them create a blueprint to grow their companies exponentially. I'm also an entrepreneur myself. I run a company called Detailing Nights. So we provide mobile waterless car cleaning. So we go to your house or to your office, clean your car on the spot without using water, and our plant-based, eco-friendly cleaning supplies. And I'm here, of course, repping PACU, which stands for the Pan-African Credit Union. Really, if you want to see a Black-led, Black-owned credit union and financial institution come into existence, you can support it. Go to pacu.ca and pledge so that you can, one, have part ownership of the credit union, and two, get it off the ground, as their application is in with FISRA now. So it is in motion, people. Let's get it across the finish line.
Good stuff. What's been going on this week?
This week has been, the gauntlet you run leading up to an event. So this upcoming Thursday is the Federal Black Entrepreneurship Ecosystem Conference. So ACBN's been kind of chairing the steering committee to get it done. So yeah, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we're going to be coming together, really collaborating. The actual tagline is solving complexity through collaboration. So that to me hits home because I feel there's no way forward without collaboration. So looking forward to, yes, being able to hear from other organizational leaders, being able to hear from other business owners on how we can really use economic development to support not just business owners, but also other themes in the Black community like education, health, justice, and social issues, media, and politics. So yeah, it's going to be a good time, going to be able to learn and create some actual actionable steps coming out of it. So looking forward to that.
Yeah, that's going to be quite the event. And we'll talk a little bit more about it on Monday. We're just giving a little bit of a tease right now. We'll go more in depth about it on Monday because Ryan's not going to be here next Friday because he's obviously going to be at the conferences. It's Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, but we'll go into a little bit more depth. I am blessed enough to be out there on the Thursday doing media coverage, and I've been told that I'm going to be hosting a panel also. Yes. So I don't know what panel it is yet, but I'm going to be hosting it. Unless Ryan wants to tell me now, I can get my mind around it.
Yes, the panel is
Business of the Arts. All right.
So Farley Flex
So
is going to be on there. Havaya Mighty, which is a Juno award-winning artist, and somebody, I think Trey Armstrong is going to be on that panel as well.
Oh,
Yes.
wow. You know what? It's actually, I'm providing her some mentorship. So, and
Okay.
I have not seen Trey in an hour. Forget a minute, an
Yeah.
hour. So that's, well, thank you for that surprise. I love that. So Tim Frey, good morning. Yes, Paku, morning, gents. Farley saying good morning, everyone. Remember, if you're not part of something, you're part of nothing. Paku is one of such something. Farley saying, let's talk about C, collective, A, action, P, plan for the a cap plan. I like that. Okay.
I like that
All
too.
right. Oh, and see, Farley, as I says, can I sub it? What? He's already going to take your spot. All right. We'll talk about that offline, Farley. That is good.
Cool.
What else has been going on this week? Anything else?
Yeah, my son's birthday was yesterday. So happy birthday, Christian. He's turning 7. Nice. Big into Beyblade. So if you want to get him a gift, it's Beyblades.
I have no idea what that is.
Not Hasbro. Yeah, he's like a mini encyclopedia of Beyblades now. So
okay.
We're gonna have he's actually doing a gymnastics birthday party on Sunday.
Wow.
So he loves doing front rolls and back rolls and flips in the house. So we're like, no, please stop, Simone Biles. Let's get you to a pretty gymnastics location.
I'm gonna put it out there. You mentioned Sunday. I host every Sunday Black Canada Talking. Yes. Right now I don't have a guest for Sunday. So if anyone is interested, reach out to me, please. I don't like doing repeats unless absolutely necessary. But I would like, if anyone's out there, I'm going to call 1 or 2 other people. I've put some messages out there and no one's responded from Tuesday.
I'm going to volunteer Tim Frey. Have you had him on yet?
Not on Black Canada Talking. So Tim, I'm putting it out there right now. Are you available this Sunday afternoon at 5 p.m.? So tell me if you are. I'd love to have you on Black Canada Talking. That would be really good. This has been a very interesting week for a number of reasons. Won't get into too much yet because we have a new friend that's waiting in the green room, so to speak. In regards to, I've been hearing some concerning stories about the ecosystem.
Okay.
And I don't want to get too much into it. I was in a very in-depth conversation with a very close associate yesterday about one of the members of the ecosystem promising this. I just putting out, just not, it was just disappointing. It was just disappointing. I was very disappointed to hear about that. And I think it may get out to well, let's put it this way. This person said they're going to get in contact with Perry. Let's just put it that way.
Okay. Yes.
With Perry Douglas. So I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm just going to leave it there. But it was a very, like, when I heard it, Tim says he's not available this Sunday. No problem. Yeah, I had to, I sat back for about good 10, 15 minutes and I just said, so I'm speaking that next week will shine light, but there has to be action. There has to be commitment. I'm just going to leave it at that.
Well, and that's a big piece that's missing from the community is that arbitration. Like when something doesn't go smoothly, even through business and even how we get treated through organizations, where do we go to mediate like disagreements? Or it could be straight up fraud, like somebody that didn't do what they said they were going to do. Do we have a panel of elders that we can go to? Let's talk this through before, we go to the media and just blow up things. But hey, it's unfortunate that bad experiences is the norm and we have to shift it to that bad experience are the anomaly and most people get a positive experience when dealing with the ecosystem.
Yeah. So I got your message, Tim, again. No problem. Thanks for responding quicker than the people I had asked back on Monday and Tuesday.
Yes.
Put it on that way. I'll just leave it at that. But but some other good things. We are, No cuts. Okay, so Farley has a message here following up from when we had him on. I also found out the indigenous community has been given a window within which they can change their names at no cost. I am advocating the same message for descendants of slavery.
Okay.
Very good update. Very good update at no cost. Very interesting. Uh, the and Farley's saying the elders council is the way to go, and the process is underway. Very interesting. Okay, so we're getting scoops.
Yes.
But yeah, on the other end, we're doing some background work in regards to the morning vibe, and we're looking at doing some visual changes. Let's put it that way. Some upcoming visual changes, and and also putting or sharing some of the content on other platforms. So that is in the works, and thankful to a number of interns who I am working with over the summer. I'm managing about 5 interns right now in different segments of the Doctor Vibe Show platform. So those things are turning out really good. And again, big thanks for everyone who's watching right now. It's appreciated, not taken for granted. Big thanks to everyone who's watching on replay on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, all these different platforms. So let's get out. We have a new friend joining us today, and this is Pride Month, for those who don't know. And we're very blessed and highly favored to have Gareth Henry. He's the executive director for the Black Coalition for AIDS Prevention. He's joining us this morning. Good morning, Gareth. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing good. Happy to be here.
To see you.
Good to have you here. Thanks for taking time out of your positive, productive schedule, especially during this month.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
During this month is a very busy month, so we're good to have you. And before we get started fully, can we get some of your background?
Okay, so Gareth Henry is the name. I'm Jamaican. I came to Canada 15 years ago as a refugee claimant. I fled Jamaica because of the violence I experienced because of being gay, just simply because of choosing to love who I choose to love. I've been a victim of violence at the hands of the police and was granted conventional refugee protection in Canada in 2008, along with my mom. My mom, because she was a supportive mother, experienced the same violence I experienced. That brought me here to Canada. Been involved in the work of LGBT and HIV activism since I was 20 years old. That makes it 25 years now. This is my.
I thought you were going to say 5 years. You look like you're 25.
Because this has been my passion, right? Being involved in HIV and LGBT activism, and I've been the executive director at Black Cap since 2019, so 3 years, which has been my dream since I came to this country, that I wanted to lead and be a part of a movement that is geared towards changing and improving the lives of Black people. And I'm so happy that I'm in an organization that works with all Black people. Our motto here at Black Cap is because all Black people's lives are important. And so that resonates a lot with me and is a very fulfilling kind of a role. I'm also, because of my activism, I've been featured in 2 of Canada's National Museum, in the Museum of Human Rights in Winnipeg for my work in LGBT activism, and also featured in the Refuge Canada exhibit that was hosted, was displayed at Pier 1, and that's a roving kind of exhibition that happens across Canada, talking about immigration and equalities, that kind of stuff. So pretty much that's who I am. I'm gay, I'm HIV positive, so those two intersectionality in terms of LGBT and HIV is something that it means a lot to me. And being a black queer plus man in the city and doing this work is for me, it's inspiring and important, and it's just that it's a cause that I believe in, because the intersectionalities are mine, are my identities. So it brings joy to me to be doing the work that I'm doing.
Good. I know Ryan has a pile of questions, but I'm going to ask you a question going back to your journey. Do you remember the first day you came to Canada, and how did that feel emotionally?
I think I chose a wrong day for my first day to arrive. I arrived in January 28th.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
I was like, and it was recorded, that is 2008. It was recorded as one of the coldest days in, I think, 30 or many years. And I was like, why did I pick this day? It was daunting.
Whoa.
I was like, whoa, this was that. I was like, why did you come today? I don't know. I just needed my freedom, and this was the day that was able to make it to Canada. So, arriving in the midst of winter, but being able to feel free is, you don't feel that cold anymore. What I felt inside was warmth, joy, happiness that I will have an opportunity to be able to be my authentic self, right? Where I don't have to live in fear of violence, and that I will be chased to the streets and beaten and killed and chopped because I'm gay, right? And so it was a very, very good feeling. I know what was funny with that piece. I came in the January, there's so much snow, and my host took me around, that kind of stuff. And in the summer, we went the same place I went when I first came. I was like, oh, I've never been here before. This is
it's like a new country.
We were here. This is the first place we brought. I was like, wow, the difference, it's winter, and arriving in the winter and then experiencing Toronto in the summer. I was like, it's day and night. Just didn't know the difference between the two.
And I'm so curious what prompted you to then start the coalition, because you land in Canada, you feel freer, you could just live the rest of your life. Why did you feel you needed to pick up the mantle and really advocate for AIDS prevention and even just rights of LGBTQ?
Yeah, so Black Cap has been around for 33 years, right? So I just joined in, and I joined under that mantle, right?
Gotcha.
It's a piece that, this organization was founded because of, again, how Black people were treated along the line in terms of HIV/AIDS. There was very little support for folks back in those days, and so a group of community members came together and formed this coalition to support Black bodies, to support Black lives, to create access to resources for community, and to support our communities, right? And so the work has been, and I was doing similar work at the same time, in Jamaica with the Jamaica AIDS Support for Life. And so again, always important piece is how do we, HIV disproportionately affect Black bodies, right? And also we know, for me and on my personal journey and experience, is that the systems are designed in a way just to keep us afloat, and not necessarily to create the kind of transformation that is needed in our communities and for us. And so the work of Black Cap is important, it is critical, it's relevant. And so when the opportunity, my first work back in HIV was when I worked at the Toronto People with AIDS Foundation, an organization I work exclusive with people who are HIV positive. And that was beautiful and amazing. But when the opportunity arose in 2019 for me to be the ED at Black Cap, I was like, this is more powerful and significant. It's a piece around having an opportunity to lead an organization that is supporting Black bodies, right? And as I said, this job is not a job because it's a passion. It's something that I love and I embrace and I hold very dear to my heart. Right now, we look in terms of 1 in 5 people living with HIV in Ontario identify as African and Black. That's 20%, right? And so that is significant, right? So our work is critical, right? And so we saw COVID. In light of that, it means more and more that the work that we do as an agency is needed in our community and need to be. It's just we have to find a way to really support and empower and lift up our community and lift up our brothers and sisters, right? Because as we see, all the pandemics and epidemics, everything that come to the fore always disproportionately affect Black bodies. And so this calls for question, right? We continue to deal with the issues around the racial injustice that we experience. We look on in terms of harm reduction, the impact that is happening in our community in terms of the overdose crisis, that we continue as Black bodies to be overrepresented in these areas. And so an organization like ours is relevant. It is critical that we are here and continue to be able to do the work that we need to do to push back on the systems that are designed to continue to keep us just where we are at. And we have to find that way and find that strength as a community to push forward and to break those barriers. Because if we don't do that as a collective, right, then it creates a problem. And oftentimes for us as an agency, we struggle with the fact that we work with all people, all Black people, that within our own diaspora, within our own communities, that the piece around LGBTQ is still a stickler. The issue around stigma continues to be, prominent. And my appeal to our Black people is that, listen, we're in this together, regardless of what it is. One of the things, if we can't band together to address oppressions and to address the social injustice for all of Black people, for all of us, we will not necessarily see the change that we really want to see. Because first, we have to come together as a community, as Black people, to create that transformation that we want to see in our world, that Black people eventually be honored in the way that we need to be honored.
I want to jump in quick a little here. So when you got involved with Black Cap, did they find you or did you find them?
Well, I think it was kind of a mutual kind of a stuff. I think, I was like, yeah, no, because I don't want, do I want to work for all Black organization? But they're my brothers and sisters, right? Why do I not give my time and talent to my community? Instead of, again, oftentimes working, you work in organizations that are predominantly white culture. This is going to happen here in Canada because for the most part, that's what exists. We don't always have a lot of successful racialized organizations, right? It doesn't happen. When we do exist, we are not funded in the way that we need to be funded to support Black bodies. We're not, right? But then, we have to do this work. It is critical that we do this work. And so, I think it was a mutual piece. The organization knew of knew of me, but my work and my commitment to this cause. And so, yeah, it was, did an interview for this, got it, excited. Everybody was all around excited and happy. And after 3 years, we continue to press forward in charting that course of, to break down those barriers around stigma, and also to work with my own community, to work with my Black brothers and sisters to say, hey, let's get on board. Let's do this for Black people. Yes. Let's not focus on our diversity. Let's not focus on the fact that, you're queer, you're straight, you're pars or not. Let's focus on the fact that we're Black and we're operating and functioning within a system that oftentimes is designed not to uplift us, but just to steady us or just to sometimes keep us down.
Keep us in a box. Yeah.
Yeah. It was like, so we have to find, Black Cap is not a gay organization to start with. We are not. We are an organization for Black people. That's it. Because HIV affects everyone, right? And all of us are at risk of contracting HIV. So our work is supporting those who are already positive, like myself, and then doing prevention so that no more Black bodies get infected with HIV. And that requires a community effort. That requires all of us treating each other and honoring each other, right? And lifting each other up instead of saying, no, you're gay, no, you're positive, no, you use substance. I was like, no.
Right, and
none of us, I think all of us on this listening to this broadcast today, all of us can identify one of these social struggles that we deal with. Either someone in a family HIV positive, or is gay, trying to come out and to be, or identify as trans and is struggling, or is struggling with substance use, or deal with mental health issues. The list goes on. No, we're not immune to these social issues that are happening. So we're saying, let's band together, right? So we can do this for each other.
And before I go to my question, we probably have comments.
Yeah, there are questions coming in already. So want to get I've got, let me just pull down here. First question from Tim. Gareth, do you find any racism within the LGBTQ here in Canada because of your skin color?
Hey, I tell you. Absolutely. I listen, man. It's a lot, it's, I always, when I left, I fled persecution and came here and I said, yeah, freedom. But then I have to deal with the fact that I'm Black and gay. And I'm Black and gay and also positive. Black, gay, positive, and is an immigrant. And people look at you different. Even within the community itself, as a gay community, you've been treated different. You've been objectified, right? And I've had many of an experiences which are sad within my own gay queer community because I'm a Black gay guy, right? It was like, am I not gay? It's like my gayness is not gay enough, right? I'm not qualified to be the gay guy. And so white gay men are privileged. We get it. And we see it within, even within Pride, that we continuously have to be a force, to protest the fact that regardless of the color of our skin, or first we're all humans. So see my humanity. Let's honor that in a place. And it just always happen within the white context. And there's a lot of white privileged gay men who other us because we're just black, and they don't want to be in spaces with us. So it exists, It's racism is not confined or is not confined to the fact that some social issues are here. It's rather across. It's the fact that all gay people have been oppressed, and I always say the fact that the most difficult piece is that when the oppressed becomes the oppressors, right? As gay people, all gay people, are struggling in this country for equal rights. But at the same time, within that context, like we have that struggle happen, then you find it that it's okay to further marginalize a group of people within that because they're color of their skin. I was like, it is sad and disheartening. And there's all those pieces that we continue to struggle with in our communities. People look at me, I came here walking on the street and shove their noses up, that kind of stuff. And we've just been objectified for many parts within our communities that, it is sad that as a gay community, LGBT community, that we still have to wrestle with racism.
Well,
okay.
Go ahead,
Ryan. I got some more questions, Ryan. If you want to get in, you better get in quick because they're flying.
Well, you mentioned that when you were first approached to be part of BCAP, you had reservations about, do I want to work with an all-Black organization? And so I'm curious, what has been your experience working in the Black community? Because I've seen some people that have been part of it and they've just dismissed. They're like, listen, I've worked for my community, I've tried, I'm out. But you've stuck it through. So I'm curious, what's kept you going and what's been your experience of trying to bring us together?
Yeah, I think, the part of it, it's never easy. And I would say, with all honesty, it's difficult when working with our own becomes so challenging, right? But also, I try to look at it from a place that I work from a place of trauma informed, that all of us experience trauma. And we bring that to our work. We bring that to the workplace. We bring that to our families, that kind of stuff. And not all of us are equipped, and not that I'm an expert in doing this either, are equipped and have the energy to persist and to persevere in this kind of struggle. I almost quit this job with the first 6 months. I was like, oh God.
Wow.
But I was like, no, again, do I have a little bit more in me to give to this process? Because it is hard enough for me, how I deal with my staff and how I deal with community, is that I lead from a place that, I listen a lot, right? I know my personal journey. I have been there and I've been in it. And anything that you could throw at me to say social issues, that kind of stuff, I've had some level of experiences with that in terms of lived experiences. And so I bring that to my work, and I bring that to the sector to listen. And one of the things that is important was that sometimes, it's hard, and it will be hard. And in my work week, 4 days are hard. I have one good day, and my good days are Friday. So you get me on a very good day.
Yes. Don't bring me no problems on Friday.
No. I said no. I shut what I do on Fridays. I shut out the world. Everything else, I focus just with my staff. I don't want to do no meetings outside. We do the things that brings us joy. So we have a potluck. We go to lunch. We have some conversations in the office, that kind of stuff. Because we need those kind of downtime. We can't always be going at it, because we will not be able to change as much as we want to change the social ills that are affecting us in our lifetime. We have to set some groundwork and some foundation for the next generation, our children, and all those kinds of stuff to come and to be able to continue on to this kind of a piece. But it is hard. Sometimes it feels unrewarding. That why am I doing this for my community? I've been brought to the gallows by my own community members because of my positions, because of my stance on certain issues that come forward, that kind of stuff. But I don't give up. I believe strongly that I will give. I get the J flag, which is the Jamaica Forum for Lesbian, Homosexuals and Gays in Jamaica. I took that role on when I was 24. Yeah, I think about 23, 24. A kid, in my perspective, to lead a movement that challenges the government, right? Experienced violence from the very day I started, to be beaten by the police on more than one occasion, but never gave up, right? And to the point where, after I went and lived in hiding, and they found me, and they told me they found me, and they're going to kill. I was stopped in traffic one morning after living in hiding for about 7 months. Didn't leave. And the first day I get out to go do some business I had to do, stopped in traffic. The police came and said, "We know where you live." They told me my address. I had to leave the very day, actually, I had to find somewhere else to go. So that was what caused me to give up on that movement, right? But so here, I'm not faced with that imminent death or that I will be killed at any point in time. So I'll give to this job and to my community the best I can, understanding that my folks are coming to me because they need help. And there's internalized trauma. There is internalized racism, the piece around homophobia. Our community is hurting. Right now, when people are hurting, they hurt others. And I see that and I understand that and I know that. I'm not immune. I have on my days when I go mad. I was like, what is wrong with us? But I'm always come back to center, to the core to say, I want to be an agent of change. I want to support my community. And I'll do it as long as I can, as long as it is safe for my health and my mental health and well-being. And I just hold that. It's a burden. Because there's this expectation that community have of you, and sometimes they're unrealistic. But we have to persevere and keep going.
We got to catch up because there's a whale of questions we got to address. So next question also, and I think you touched a little bit on it, but Tim is asking, would Gareth ever go back to Jamaica to try and change the culture mindset about being gay?
I continue to do my work while being there. It's the piece which is challenging and it's really hard. Is that for me in my position specifically that I never had problems with community members. I've only had problems with the state, and that is from the police. Always. All my incidents of violence and homophobia in Jamaica have been at the hands of the police, hands down. And that's problematic. When the system is out to get you, it's difficult. I remember when my grandmother was ill, died, not ill. My grandma, she was ill and I wanted to go, and I was like, no, I don't think it is safe. And neither did she thought it was safe for me to come. And when she died, I had to go. And I tell her this, I land in Montego Bay, and as I went through immigration, I got a text on my phone from 5 people. "Oh, you're in Jamaica." I was like, nobody knew I was coming, but they knew I arrived. Wow. That was telling, right? That was really telling. And these were people who were close to me that I didn't even disclose to say I'm coming from my grandmother's funeral, whatever it is, that kind of stuff. But they knew. And so it's an issue around my safety because, I'm always challenging, and we'll always challenge the systems to say, we need to honor and to support support gay people. Of course, I do a bit of that work through what I do with Rainbow Railroad. I do a bit of that same as sitting right here in Black Cap, that it's a passion and desire for me that I have, that I really want to see. I don't want to see people leave home because they're gay. No, you leave home because there's an opportunity you want to explore, and then you leave and go explore that opportunity. But to be forced from your home, to be forced from your family, from your culture, from what you're familiar with, it's not okay. It's traumatic. And then we wonder why, as Black people, that we can't, the movement for us in terms of social injustice is so staggering and so difficult sometimes. I feel like we can't get over these hurdles. It's just because of how we treat each other. And go back in Jamaica. Black folks get hurting Black folks because they're gay, simply because they're different, right? And it's not only unique to Jamaica. It happens here in Toronto, right? So there's a lot that needs to happen for us as Black people to find a way to better honor and support each other and lift each other up. And what you do don't really matter to me because you're not doing it to me, so it's fine. It's whatever, let's coexist. But no, going back to physically live in Jamaica to do that work, no, it's for me. It's clearly not safe.
All right,
so, absolutely not.
All right. So, want to shout out to another one of the family, Marlon Stephen. Good morning, and lots of questions for you, my man. So, hope you're ready. Next conversation piece. Farley Flex says, "Greetings, Gareth. Would you agree it was an oversight on the part of the Black civil rights activists of the '60s and '70s not to align with gay activists from a human rights perspective?"
Yep, I totally believe that. And even when I come back to the piece, even with the Black Lives Matter movement campaign right now, is whilst I support and I understand it because there are those similarities, is a piece that it's not all Black people. And that's problematic, right? Because the movement goes away, and the whole can't stand if we're not all connected to the core, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm a Black gay man. So if the Black Rights Civil Rights Movement or Black Lives Matter is not centering me as a person, I can't connect with that and feel safe in those discourse, then it makes no sense. We can't make those tractions and those movements that we want to see happening and that kind of stuff. And I think any alignment outside of addressing the issues of or diversities within for us as Black people, it's a failed movement. We can't move forward for Black people when you're trans or no, you're this or no. I remember one of the incidents when, and one of the things that stood up for me when George Floyd, all those protests. And I remember in New York when the black trans person, the brown or black trans person went to the George Floyd protest, and this black person was killed. This trans woman was killed at a Black event because of being trans. And there was no outcry for that. There was no outrage. There was not a parallel protest that happened. And so that is fundamentally wrong, right? Because we are all Black people. What we're dealing with is this monster of racism that affects us all. Because I'm gay don't make me immune to that. No, it doesn't make me more vulnerable to it. No, we all are. When we walk into a predominantly white cultured space, they don't see me coming as a gay guy or think I'm what. They see a Black man walking in, so they're gonna treat me as a Black man. They're not gonna treat me no otherwise. And all of us have that experience, and that's what we need to first see when the system, we're engaged with the system. If that amber alert goes off, it's because we're Black, not because of anything else. Right, so we have to center our work from that place that it's all of us. We're in this together, and whether it's a religious part into whatever the movement is, if it does not include all Black lives, then it is failed. It's a failed movement, and whatever success is gained, it will be easily eradicated because it excludes us. It excludes we can't other our own and then expect us to be strong and powerful. We have to embrace all of us because all of us come as a package, right?
All right.
All those intersectionalities.
More questions coming. Man, you sounds like you had your coffee this morning. We love you. Blue Mountain, you had some Blue Mountain this morning. Okay, next up. Farley again says, from my lens, it is clear that gay rights have advanced well beyond Black civil rights. Not true?
Yeah, I think yes. I think for the most part, to an extent, I would want to agree with that. But then also the one that other part of the parallel to that is what gains prominence, right? And it is a piece around the civil rights piece. Oftentimes gain that kind of prominence. It's sometimes I see that there is a piece that they run in parallel, but then we shouldn't be a parallel kind of emotion. It should be in sync, we're going one direction, both of us, as a collective, and be able to fuse those, our talents and gift and time together to create that movement and to create the change that we want for Black bodies.
Okay. Question here, and I've put a banner up for it. How can we support Black Cap? And what I have done is periodically through our conversation, they have put up there's a website address, how you can reach them on Facebook, also Twitter and Instagram. So that information is up there. Next up, comments coming. Let's see. This is an interesting question. And Ryan, you may want to, actually, let's go to this one first. Why is HIV such a high percentage in the Black community in Canada? Also, were you an HIV positive before or after coming to Canada?
Okay. Yeah, all right. So I think for with our work at Black Cap, what we find is the fact that the prevalence is also because the work there are a lot of social issues that are not being addressed within our communities, within our city, that people continue to struggle with. There's a piece of income insecurity, food insecurity, unstable housing and support, and it makes us more vulnerable to our community more vulnerable to contracting HIV. The messages or the campaigns or that is out there does not necessarily resonate well with or easily understood by Black folks. And also the investments that go into HIV work are oftentimes skewed against us. We find that we get, again, what I said, we get the minimum that keeps us afloat, right? And those and people also right now look at HIV as the pop up pill, they live longer. This is no longer an issue of concern. I would say no, it is. That energy needs to change because HIV is real. And you said it continues to be on the increase for Black bodies. We find that right across the national numbers for HIV is on the decline. So Canada is doing great in terms of HIV infection on a national level. But when we break those numbers down, we look at whilst it is on the decline for everyone, it's on the increase for Black folks. That is telling. It means it's a stigma. It means that it's homophobia and transphobia that exists within our communities. And I'm talking to us right now, right? That some of it, these kind of internalized pieces that we project onto our own communities further cause or help to compound our situation and make it more difficult for HIV prevention messages to really resonate within our communities. You know, we struggle and find it hard and difficult to, when we on our office here, we get on a regular basis 3, 4, 5 youth come to us from Scarborough or from Black communities say, I don't feel safe accessing services in my community. Help me find something downtown. Help me find a doctor. What all those kinds of stuff. Because again, it's a stigma that exists, right? And we have to find a way to break these barriers down. And this is a part of the reason why, some of the reasons why HIV continues to be prevalent in our Black communities, because of our own internalized kind of pieces that we need to unpack and to really, really address in a meaningful and significant way. I came to Canada being HIV positive. It was not easy for me to navigate the systems, but I eventually found a way to successfully do that for myself. And what I try to do as a Black man is to, in my role here at Black Cap, is to make that access to information, make that access to resources easier for my community. Either it is prevention messaging and support, or it is support because you're positive. Because we have to do that, and that's why a Black Cap is relevant and is important. And someone asked a while ago how we can support Black Cap. Again, donations. Donate to our organization, volunteer with our organization, call us up, call us up, let's have some conversations about how we can support our communities. And we want to we will remain as Black Cap an agent of change within our community. We want to do that for all Black bodies, right? To be present and to support our communities the best way possible.
All right, this one goes to Ryan. Tim is asking, is Black Coalition for AIDS Prevention a part of the Black ecosystem? Will they have a seat at the table at the conference, Ryan?
Hey, he took the words right out of my mouth. So, because the ecosystem that I guess the federal government funded was economic focused. But the Friday of the conference, we're inviting the bigger, broader themes of the Black community, which I mentioned, like education, justice, health, social. So I was going to actually ask you, Dr. Vibe, after this, if you could introduce me directly to Gareth to invite him, because we have a panel happening on Friday specifically about social issues. So I would love to have you in attendance. But yeah, that invite. And again, I'm learning every day about the different organizations that exist in our community. And we have to figure out a way, just like Gareth was saying, how do we bring it all together and stop being silos or just random sailboats in the
neighborhoods.
Ocean. Yeah.
All right. More
so
comments.
Actually, since you're here, Gareth, if you're available next Friday, check your calendar. We'd love to have you there.
The 17th, I think I am. What time? Yeah, just say yeah. Because we get my contact.
We'll chat offline on that. Good stuff.
Love it.
So Neil Armstrong, great individual, great supporter of the Black environment. Thank you, Dr. Vibe, Ryan, and Gareth. Black Cap does important work in the community because all Black lives are important. And I have to have a huge shout out for Neil. Neil is the reason this conversation is happening on the Morning Vibe today. So I just want to shout out on that. And Ray McMillan Group, good morning, gentlemen. It is sad and tragic that those entrusted to serve and protect are the ones perpetuating violence against someone and a community perceived as, quote, different, unquote. I applaud you.
Right.
Next up, Farley saying, Gareth's perspective echoes the thought that as Black people, we perpetuate division by identifying by island, neighborhood, sexuality, etc. when white society exploits us as a collective body.
Right. Yes.
Yep.
And then Charmaine saying, great conversations. Unity is indeed strength. So we're caught up with all the conversation. Gareth, I have a question for you. Where do you get more pushback? Now, I'm going to put it in two silos here, strategically and emotionally, from melanated community or the non-melanated community?
I think for community
or environment. Sorry, I said the bad word.
No, it's fine.
I'm rubbing off on you.
I think the
no. Well, I say to our friends because they when I have to deliver it, not but when it's environment me. But sorry, Gareth, go ahead.
I think for our community, for Black folks, right? For us, I think pushback it might be a strong word, but I think it's just also the fact that our communities don't really understand. And oftentimes, I'm happy for this opportunity this morning to share on your podcast, because we're not oftentimes given these opportunities, because sometimes we're seen as the AIDS people, which is really awful and terrible way to look at us. And the gay people across there, that kind of stuff. And we as Black folks, we don't not realizing that all of these social issues are ours as Black people. It affects all of us, right? And so I think it's just, there might be a will, but not necessarily an understanding, or the message is not out there. Is Black Cap known to, what percentage of Black folks in Toronto right here know about our organization, right? We try our best to be out there and to be present. We are the largest, Black Cap is the largest HIV/AIDS focused Black organization in Canada, the largest, right? That is telling, because then, we try to be at the tables, try to be at these platforms to say, how do we do this as a collective? How do we work together to be transformative, right, in our communities? And so I think for us is within our own, is not the pushback. Again, it might be the lack of knowledge and awareness, and people still have the isms that they carry with them from different cultural experiences, that kind of stuff. The part with it with the white community is just that oftentimes, a lot of white folks talk about anti-Black racism, and they want to incorporate it within their work, and they want to do this. But when I push them to say, demonstrate what's a tangible piece that you're doing, right? How do you, as a white, the places or the people who have more access to or more privilege to resources, support smaller organizations, support Black organizations. So if you want to talk about anti-racism and all this kind of stuff, and for us to be inclusive, if you want to be an ally, it can't be in words. We can speak and tell our own stories. We have the lived experiences. So that allyship comes with, how do you help to mobilize and to break those barriers, systemic barriers down that make it difficult for us to access resources for our community, right? That, and so that's the piece that oftentimes I push back in those conversations. Said, don't come to me, tell me that you support us. Don't come to me, tell me you understand. We have more than enough to tell. We have that experience. The mere fact that we exist and we walk on the streets and we go into a space, we're saying that we're pushing back and we're telling you that I need to be here, I am relevant, I am taking up space. So we're doing that advocacy. We don't need white folks to talk to us about that kind of stuff. We want white folks to be our allies. We want you to get it and to understand it. And also because you are part of it, you're the gatekeepers. So how do you start to break those walls down so that we can be able to have access and be able to engage in the way that others are engaging? And then, that's where the work starts. So I don't get much political kind of a pushback from the white community per se, but it's just more that it was like, don't be talking about us, or don't be taking positions or advocating us to put in positions that you get this and you walk in the Black Lives Matter march and all those kind of stuff. But it was like, yeah, I'm not saying that all white people are guilty of being oppressive, but by the nature that you're born in that space, you inherit, and it is unfortunate. And a lot of people say these things, but you're white. That's it. You're privileged. It is assumed already, right? Regardless of what it is. And so we have to find, so if we find those kind of balances where you are proactively then engaging on your end of the spectrum to create change if you want to support us.
Okay. Tim is saying we don't need more allies in words. We need actionable allies.
Yes, absolutely. That's it. That's excellent. Excellent point, and exactly what I'm saying.
Ryan, it's been a while since you had a chance. I had to catch up because our family, they go all in. So they went all in. So we're caught up. You have anything you want to chat about?
Dad, hey, nothing specific. I'm just like listening, learning about the experience that you've gone through, Gareth. And now what guidance would you give to other Black organizational leaders? As mentioned, like, we're part of this ecosystem that is trying to develop the economic empowerment in the Black community. But what guidance or what have you seen working with other Black leaders that you'd want to see changed or that I could learn from?
Yeah, I think one of the most important thing is the fact to be able to, for us to, as Black communities, to honor our humanity. Right? That's it. I think that is the most impactful thing that we can all do within that ecosystem, is to honor each other's humanity. And if we're able to get that.
I just need to interrupt. Ryan, I think you need to use that phrase during your conference. I think write it down. I know you'll forget. Write it down. I'm telling you. I'm saying we need to honor each other's humanity because everybody has value.
Yes. Yes. That's it.
Sorry to interrupt, Gareth. You can continue on, but I think that is so important. We have to honor each other's humanity. So continue on. Go ahead.
And another thing, is for the most part, that's when I'm asked that question, it was like, let's do that. Let's start there. Because if we get that, then that's it. That's it. Because all the other pieces that we socially will be inclined to gravitate towards becomes not so important or essential anymore. Because I'm seeing you for you. Right, and that is what is critical and important in this process. And again, it is a piece that, is that we work together. We create opportunities to have conversations, to have discourse, just like what we're having this morning. Create those opportunities. Be intentional, because the change will happen when we all get that message. When we all have an understanding, and we can't. It was like the little man on the street corner. The guys folks who deal having mental health issues, folks who are struggling with substance use, that kind of stuff, they're one of us. They're part of this. They're part of this ecosystem. How do we take care of them, right? And that's what, for me, I go back and center. That's what we do at Black Cap. I would say that we go out into the Black communities. We go out where people are at. Our staff go out in nighttime to meet with people who come, who are on the street. We want to make sure that we are reaching our community at any cost, right? And it's important, it is relevant. And all of our organizations are unique and are different. And so, the for-profit organizations is, how do you support the not-for-profit organizations that are Black, right? And what's your investment in creating social change in our communities? Because businesses, we talk about it earlier on a piece on, supporting Black businesses. Who we expect to support Black business? We. Right? But if part of our community is disproportionately affected because of all these other ills that they're dealing with, how do you find that we are going to have, these folks are going to have the resources to invest in your business? It doesn't work. Yeah. Right? It's a two-way street. And so I'm saying we have to invest in each other so that our businesses, our organizations can flourish and will grow, because that we're taking care of each other. So it becomes mutually reciprocated. Everyone benefits. All of us are empowered, having the capacity and ability to do and engage and to invest and to spend and to create that health and well-being that we so desire and need to see in Black communities.
Massive.
Love it.
Massive. Anything else, Ryan? I think he just put a bow on everything.
I agree. No, this has
just,
been a privilege. I really appreciate taking the time to be with us today.
Yeah, it's been really
But one of the
inspiring.
areas I think Dr. Vibes I want to talk about too for us, and earlier I want to talk about, there was a question around homophobia within the racism within the LGBT community.
Yes,
We are honored this year as Black Cap to be the charity of choice for Pride.
Congratulations.
So that is significant, right? And a unique opportunity for us as an organization to help to lead the parade that happens on I think it's the 24th. I get these dates all mixed up all the time. No, it's not the 24th. It's on the 24th. No, it's not the 24th. It's 26th. Where that happens on the 26th, right? So we're leading the parade, part of the leading contingent for the parade, that kind of stuff. And it's important, a great honor for us as an organization to do, again, within a predominantly white cultured institution, that we are taking up space and we are also being recognized for our work. But one thing I want to say is that for folks, it was like, never you feel shy or intimidated to go on our website and donate. There's a donate button there. Donate. We need the support because we're supporting Black bodies. It's important and it is critical. And we are having there are a host of events that are happening across for Pride. We are roughly for folks who would have gone to our website and donate, you'll be entered into a prize draw. For flat screen television, if you donate at using a tip tap at any Pride event that we're at, again, and you complete a form, you're also being registered to do that. We're trying again to incentivize our community, to give back to the community, to say, hey, entice folks to do this kind of stuff, to give to us. I must say, if we sow the seed within our community, if we make investments in our communities, we will reap the benefits. We will reap some rewards, and so it's important and critical. I want all folks on this call today, watching this podcast today, to visit our website. Right, go to our website, see what we do, and I will challenge you to tell you that you will see something there that resonates with you and your family members. So we are here for all Black bodies. Check us out. Don't be shy and donate and give the community. And let's just build and uplift each other as in the best ways possible that we can.
All right. So what I'm going to do is, we put up the website, and just you have one more conversation piece that's just come in, but again, want to give people the contact information. There's the website there where you can find them, the organization on Facebook. That's where you can find them on Twitter and Instagram. We also have I guess a final conversation piece. Well, a few other things. Well, I'll leave them out to the end. I'll have one more conversation from Farley. I would appreciate hearing Garrett's thoughts on the insistence of the faith community to vilify. You knew this was coming. Well, with our audience, you knew. Well, you didn't know our audience. Well, this is our family. They don't play. So vilify the LGBTQ2+ community. Your thoughts?
I grew up in a religious household. Religion is a dear part of me. I still practice in terms of my beliefs. But I would say, I've never seen such the divisive movement, and it's one of the most hurtful kind of a movement, because religion is a place, or church is a place where people go to find solace and to connect, but it's a place that creates so much harm and hurt to so many, and it is sad, right? And I think many religious leaders have failed community, have failed humanity, and we continue to talk about when we talk about Christ and Christianity, is about taking care of each other. Being Christ-like means that I see you, you see me, we lift each other up, that kind of stuff. We talk about this love at the church, preach this kind of stuff, but it continues to be exclusionary, right? And if I go in as a gay guy, there's an opportunity for me to change. I'm not received and honored for who I am as I enter, right? And there's so much contradiction as it relates to religion. I always say to folks is that religion is one of the greatest forms of oppression. as a tool that is used to hold people down and to center people on their goals as it relates to this is what you should believe, and any variation from this is a sin and it goes to hell. And that's not what it is. For us, our beings, we're made in the likeness of an image of God, and whoever God is and how that is defined, we see they present to us a white God, and then it's so many things. It's so many ways that, again, as Black folks, how do we center ourselves around what we believe and what we embrace. Oftentimes the pieces that get formalized into religion and what is accepted in society is what is oftentimes we see racism creeps right in there. Is what the white people think is okay. So our cultural practices is like revivalism that I grew up in the Caribbean, the piece, Cuban and all these kind of stuff, religious form of practice. Those pieces that come from the motherland doesn't get center stage because it doesn't center a white God, for example. And in that whiteness is what comes is also that oppression. And so oftentimes pull apart, and when people come to me with a piece of one religion, I was like, I won't debate religion beyond the fact to say, in my experience, it is one of the most oppressive forms. That religion is oppression. If it is not free and liberating, then we're enslaved. And for me, I said I practice. I go to church, and I'm very religious, but I'm centered in my truth around what I am taking on, and that is the first piece. I'm going to be in service to my community, and I think that's the best form of any kind of religious practice, is to be in service to my community. And what that means is that supporting my brothers and sisters in the best way I can, and be present when I can, and to uplift each other. That's my religion. That's it, and that's why I practice every day, and that's why I do this work that I do, because that is being an avenue, an agent for change to help someone to have a different experience. And if they see it to be better, then it is fine. But I'm not going to give you a better experience. I want you to have an experience, and you define that for yourself, right? If it is better or not, that kind of stuff. And so being an agent of change is what religion for me is supposed to be. And nothing less, nothing more. Is us creating that safety for others.
All right. Well, we'll finish with that. Just a few more final comments. Farley is saying allyship in all forms must include strategic use of privilege to bring about equal opportunity. Tim saying, keep doing what you're doing, Gareth. We do appreciate you, one love. And then Charmaine says, we need to teach these grassroots principles of collective thinking and support for our Black people so this change can occur for future generations.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I think, Gareth, you passed the test today. We want to thank you for taking the time. And one last thing, I want you to hail up your organization because I know that you have many volunteers.
Yeah, for sure. I want to say big up my staff, the incredible staff team at Black Cap. We're a team of, I think, in total of, I'm not thinking because we keep hiring, for different. So I think we know about 31. Yeah, so we'll big up my team. And I'll say they do very good work. They're committed to this cause. They're committed to our motto because all Black lives are important, and they all are agents of change. And so I want to say kudos and thumbs up to them all. And of course, we can never do this work without volunteers. Our volunteers, we have an amazing team of volunteers who stand by us during the year, when during the trying time in terms of COVID, was present, turn up, delivering food to community members. Amazing volunteers that we have here at Black Cap. So if you're one of our volunteers, big up, and know that I love, value, and appreciate you, and I see you. And to all those who donate to Black Cap, right? We couldn't do all this work without you. That is an important piece to say. Donors, thank you, and continue to donate. And if you have not started donating, press that button, because guess what? All Black people's lives are important. If we're in this together, if we want to see transformation within our communities, let's invest in our communities. Let's challenge each other. Let's hold each other accountable. Let's lift each other up. Let's center our Blackness, right, in a way that is collective and not divisive, so we can see the change we want to see in Toronto to start with, and then by extension Canada, and then by extension to the world, that we can become a model, that agent of change, because we band together, and we have to find a way to do that. And that commonality is our Blackness, right? And we can use that to our advantage, but we all first have to see that and to honor each other for who we are.
I'm going to ask you for a 30-second answer on this quick question. Ryan and I come to you today with $500,000 for your organization. What's the first thing you do?
First thing we're going to do is invest more in terms of supporting our trans programs. And specifically also, we have a program we want to launch for seniors or older LGBT folks. That would be my delight. We just initiated that project 2 weeks ago with $0. $0. We had a social outing because so many of our older black folks are in social isolation, no family, and the list goes on. And so we initiated a program 2 weeks ago with $0, a social program to take people or black folks out who are over the age of 50 plus, to go out, meet other folks who are in the same age group, have conversation, play games. Want to take folks to dinner, to lunch. I want to invest in that. They don't want to invest. We put about 150,000 there, and 150,000 towards our youth initiative, where we are employing. We have employed again young folks who are positive right now. $0 starting this project, but giving them a 4-day work week with benefits to support them, to say, listen, this is what we want to do. We want to build future leaders, right? I don't know. I scratched my head every day. I was like, where am I going to get this money to pay for all this kind of stuff?
You're speaking it, man.
You're speaking it. Right? So if I get $500,000 today, trust me, bang on the two major programs, 3 programs that we're doing right now that has no funding. But my belief is this, is sow the seed, do the right thing. It's a need in our community to support our youth. Our youth are underemployed, and when they get employment, that kind of mediocrity in terms of employment. And what we're creating here is tangible employment, and saying to our young people, this is what the real work looks like, and this is what you should. We want to get people empowered and supported. And so that money, if we'll get that, of course, I believe it. I believe it will come, and we're working towards it.
All right, Gareth. Thank you for everything you have done, are doing, and will be doing. I have a feeling that there are more conversations to come on this platform and some of the other platforms that we know of with you. So thank you so much. Remember to give yourself grace. And remember, don't just manage your time, manage your energy. Take care, Gareth.
Have a good one.
Okay.
All right. So there we go. That was an epic conversation. And, I got to hail out the family again. Great questions. Like Ryan and I, we just sat back and steered the ship, which is beautiful. That's a beautiful thing. And there's the contact information for the website, for Facebook, for Twitter and Instagram. At least go to the website and check it out. Please do that. And as he said, all Black Lives Matter. So another epic conversation today, Ryan. Sorry you didn't get to chat that much, but our family, we want to make sure they get their stuff answered. That's good. So what's up for the weekend?
Other than Christian's birthday party, we're still doing training for Detail Ignites and fine-tuning elements for the conference, and making sure Gareth gets his invite. So
yes, we're gonna work on that right after this conversation ends. Ray is saying, great conversation. Thanks for putting Black Cap and what they do in the forefront of our psych. And how would you pronounce that? I know Shufa is a lot, but the first St. Janet Shufa. If I got it wrong, it's my head, not my heart. But she gives claps to the conversation. So, folks, you can catch replays of these epic conversations on the Dr. Vibe Show YouTube and Facebook channel, ACBN Facebook channel, and YouTube, and also the Ryan Knight YouTube channel. So looking forward to another epic conversation. We don't know who's coming on yet, but if not, you're going to get both of us, but we'll go a little bit deeper dive with the upcoming conference next Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And I'm just going to, before we leave, I'm just going to put up the information for the conference again right here. So there is the link for the conference if you can check it out. Is just quick question before we leave, Ryan. Any virtual access or it's all in person?
Yes, there is virtual access. So
Okay.
in person is actually almost sold out. I think it is sold out. So last night we were
Wow.
at, I think, 145 out of the 150 spaces.
Ooh.
And yeah, so you can watch it online, and we will have
Okay.
like a online interactive component to it. So yes.
Good. And one thing I did notice on the invitation that's online, they are still honoring the mask policy.
Yeah, at Sheridan College, where it's going to be taking place.
So just FYI for people who are coming, make sure you have your mask.
Yes,
Make
or
sure
one
you
will
have
be
your-
provided.
Oh yes, there you go. So
but I'm hearing the city is supposed to eliminate.
the province is
soon.
the province is
Yeah,
ending it. Ontario provinces, but then certain like hospitals and areas like that are still going to enforce it.
Yeah,
TTC, the Toronto Transit's making it partly optional, so it'll be interesting to see where Sheridan goes.
Right.
By the time the conference happens. So as always, want to say thank you to everyone for watching live on the replay. It's appreciated, not taken for granted. As always, we end off with this. Oh, actually, no, I'll talk about it on Monday. I had a great conversation this week, specifically for Black men and Black fathers, but we'll talk about that on Monday. We like to say this: live your life as a dream. If you can dream it, you can make it. Sometimes you have to get stronger to get smaller. Block assumptions, aim bigger, aim better, aim higher, aim wider. Love, faith, and respect. Remember to give yourselves grace. If you're watching this live, hope you have a fantastic weekend, or hope you have a good next few days. Let's put it that way. Let's make it generic. God bless. Peace, well, keep the faith, and walk good. We'll see you Monday. Be well.